Sorry.
Already
There we
apologizing.
go.
What's up?
Just another beautiful day in sunny St. George, Utah.
Yeah, we were just talking, backstage. This winter, what's supposed to be winter weather has been pretty nice, man. I think it's going to start raining again here in a couple of days, but been enjoying the sun. I cleaned the pool. I vacuumed the pool yesterday.
Already getting ready, huh?
I'm going to start cold plunging.
Oh, nice.
Wait till you see me in June. I'm going to be chiseled. You think I'm handsome now? You just wait.
I thought Mr. Christmas was already ready for summer.
No, man. We took our youngest and middle daughter to a carousel place in Albany, which is a little town about 30 miles from here. And downtown's like still all Christmased out. They still got snowflakes and Christmas lights, and it was nice. I was like, all right, guys, this is my kind of place.
You're the Christmas year round.
Yeah, man.
It's been like 60s, mid 60s here in the daytime, and I'm wearing short sleeves. It's January, wearing short sleeves. I'm just waiting for it to get back to cold again before it warms up. But
we've been getting big swings, like high 50s in the day, and then low 30s at night. A lot of fog, socked in the morning. It burns off, and kind of a weird year so far. But I'm going to be taking off for sunny Kentucky on Friday, and it's going to be cold there. So I was looking at the weather; it's going to be like 15 at night.
Why don't you tell the people what you're doing in Kentucky?
Race TB Promotions, Brian Whitworth, Tyler Bohannon's outfit, kicking off their season. I believe this is the 6th annual Derby City Practice Tree Race. They kick it off 5K to win practice tree race out there in Kentucky. And you know what? I can't talk about it without breaking the news. I was kind of going to let them do their thing, and we're keeping this West Coast anyway, so they'll still have their chance. I'm going to be coming on board the TB Promotions crew this year and joining their announcing team at all of their events. So I'll be flying all over the country this year on the mic at all the TB Promotions races, and figured this was a good opportunity to just get out there. I've met Brian a couple times at the Summer Door Car Shootout, but haven't ever met Tyler in person, never met PJ in person, and never met Steve Pointer or Jeb or their whole crew. I've just met Brian like once or twice. So figured it's a good opportunity to get out there and get to know their crew a little better, and how they get down before we kick things off in May. So super stoked to get out there and hang out with them guys. I'm sure I'll put an entry into the practice tree race. I don't expect to make it very far, but we'll give her hell when we were out there. So looking forward to it.
That's one heck of a way to kick the show off. Just some breaking news for some
I don't know how many people care.
Events. That's pretty exciting, Troy.
We're excited for
you. I'm excited to hear you calling more than just the Seattle National event on the live feed. So we get to hear you more on some Motor Mania. That's pretty dang cool.
I'm stoked for it, man. I've been, watching those guys. They've been building that brand now for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years. I think Brian was doing it before they became a team. And you watch the product that they're putting out, the races that they're putting on, and it's hard to argue that they're not, maybe the top promotion out there. I kind of put the Flings in their own category. They got their own kind of setup, but I love what those guys are doing, and even from a distance, you see the high level that they operate at, and the product that they're putting out. And I just feel super lucky and honored to be a small part of it this year. So we'll see how many races I make it before they fire me.
You'll make it through the whole year, at least this whole year. One of the things that I think we got going for you, or going for us with you calling the shots, is maybe, just maybe, you could convince them to bring a race out on the West Coast. What do you think the odds are of that?
I'm sure that they something like that would excite them. They've got a pretty awesome market out there running kind of through the Rust Belt, a market that's been kind of underserved over the years. And so them and Tom Gall with Gallstar have really kind of capitalized on that Midwest market. And I don't know how far they want to bring it. Traveling circuses can get tough, and they're a long ways from the West Coast. But would love to see them continue to expand the brand, and if they can keep inching it out here out west, I know there's a lot of folks that would probably go there and try their hand at some big money. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, in other news, we had the D7 banquet down in Vegas this last weekend. Just want to give a quick shout out to all the champions again. Job well done. We're excited to take our crack at you again here in a couple months down in Phoenix. I know D6 had theirs, 2 weeks ago?
They did.
All the division championship walleyes have been passed out and ready to start tallying points up again for this next season.
Yeah, man. Looked like everyone had a good time. A cool way to kind of close out last year and also kind of kick off, this season. I think that probably gets everybody pretty primed up, gets the juices flowing, the conversations happening. So everybody I talked to that went, I did not go, but everybody I talked to that went had a great time, and that seems to always be the case. So shout out to Mike Eames and everybody who put that together for our D6 racers.
Well, the comment section is going off the wits. And
you knew it would, man.
Ty Gaynor is ready to harass front row seat to Cooper Chun tonight. Where Cooper at? Man, we got quite the show coming for us with Cooper. We're gonna actually find something that Cooper can't do tonight. I don't think there's very good odds of that.
Maybe right. We'll have to see if he'll admit to it, right? And if he won't, maybe Casey will tell on him. So let's not keep him waiting, man. We're up against the national championship game. Go Hoosiers, Hoosier Daddy. And we'll bring on the $1 million man right now, Cooper Chun. Coop, we've been wanting to have this conversation for a while. We built up some subscribers, built up some energy around the show, and seemed like a perfect time to bring you on. So thanks for taking some time to join us.
No problem, guys.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you. We got quite the list of questions from a one-person panel. One-person panel gave us some good questions. Me and Troy got some good questions, but why don't you kick it off, Troy? Let's dive deep into this.
Well, we've all been kind of sitting around twiddling our thumbs, pulling motors, freshening up transmissions, but you've been racing still. You just came back from a Immokalee a little bit ago, got a chance to go down and hang out for that. Tell us a little bit about that experience. I know a little different for you and a long ways from home. How was Immokalee?
It was a long ways away. I kind of got close with Dylan Guy throughout the year, racing back east on the back east trip I went on, and it was like, why don't you come out to Florida and come race for 2 weeks? And I kind of was him and Han. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go, and he eventually got me talked into going. And first I was only gonna drive the Camaro. We broke the Camaro the second day in. Luckily, he's like jumping the dragster, and I ended up staying in the dragster for most of the trip. But yeah, Immokalee's super fun. It sucks that it's going away. But there's a casino 3 minutes away. It pretty much is the casino. You go to the same breakfast spot every morning that everyone goes to. And yeah, it was a great time in Florida when it's raining back home.
Were you coming off the bottom in the Camaro or coming off the top in both cars?
No, as Ty alluded to a little bit ago, I cannot hit the bottom to save my life. So I was only off the top bulb, and I managed to semi one of the 40 granders, and that was about it from there.
Hey, that ain't bad though.
No, got some of the tab paid for.
Yeah, nice.
Are you doing any off-season maintenance on your own program? We've been talking to people and they got engines getting freshened. What's Cooper doing this off-season to get ready for the next?
I actually left my car in Vegas after the Thanksgiving race in Jeff Taylor's shop, so there's nothing changing for next year.
It should be tuned up and ready for the fling though. You got a crown to defend.
I do.
Maybe Oh, go ahead, Park. Go ahead.
Are you planning on racing any of the divisionals down in Phoenix, or just going to go to the Southwest Showdown and then hit up the Fling? What's your plans?
So I initially was going to start at the Phoenix National, but I think I decided I'm going to go to Phoenix next month and start there, and then kind of leave it there and come back for the National, Tucson, Vegas, and go from there.
Okay, so I won't plan on going to any of those to race Super Comp or Super Pro. Glad we got that out of the way, so I know what not to race.
He knows how to win in that old car of yours.
I do.
Well, someone's got to win in it. We know that I couldn't turn on any win lights, so I'm glad that Coop got it and that he sweet talked it into some win lights.
Well, and are you attached to that thing, man? After April happened, I figured you'd be smart with your cheddar, but I did expect you to find like a, I don't know, 2013 something, go drop 40, 50 on a new hot rod, but looks like you're sticking with old reliable. Any plans to get something new, or are you just going to keep rocking that thing till the wheels fall off?
I mean, I'll never sell it. It'll sit in the corner of the shop before I ever do anything with it. I kind of thought about getting a new car or getting a different motor or something, but I wanted to go racing instead. So we raced every weekend possible, and I'm paying for school now. Put some money away and tried to be smart with it instead of going to put $50,000 on a new car.
Yeah, I like it, man. And you've been traveling a bunch and kind of branching out on your own a little bit. I know you've made some trips without your family. You went out to Immokalee, up to Edmonton. Talk a little bit about kind of that transition, how you're kind of branching out. That's probably somewhat unfamiliar territory for you. What's it like racing without your normal family crew?
It's different, like my dad will always go back and forth on dialing ideas, and my mom's always making sure I'm set on whatever it may be. My brother's there watching, which luckily a lot of these races have live streams that they can watch from home. And then just, everyone I go and race for, just to mention a few, like the Pleasures for sure, Chris Sullivan and the guys, like everyone I go race for, it's like a family atmosphere. So I'm not necessarily ever really racing by myself per se, which helps a lot.
I can dig it, man. One thing as I've watched you, as I've watched other people that race out there that are pretty tight with family, I'm impressed at the way you guys have been able to balance that. I know that in any sport or hobby, whatever it is, if you grow up doing something with your pops, there can be tension, and sometimes it can be tough. There can be pressure, and sometimes people aren't able to keep it going. Eventually someone wants to spread their wings and fly and do things their own way. How have you balanced, learning, growing, being a part of that family atmosphere, but also kind of growing and developing into your own man, into your own style of racer? How do you balance that?
I don't know. I think my parents make it real easy on me in terms of balancing. Like there's no real, I don't know the best way to put it, but there's no real pressure per se. Like, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have an answer for it.
Well, I admire the way you guys have been able to do it. I know there was a lot of things my dad and I used to love to do together. And eventually the last person I wanted to do any of it with was him, because I wanted to do it my own way. I don't know if that was the right decision or not, but it's been impressive to watch how you guys have handled that. And good on them. They've done such a great job with you and your brother, raising two good young men. So,
and believe it or not, Cooper isn't the only Chun that can turn on wind lights. I know his little brother can smoke them in the junior street class.
Oh yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about your little brother and how he's coming along.
Oh, he's always been there. He's always my number one fan. Cheered me on wherever I go. It sucks I'm not 25 because I'd love to ride with him in junior street. But you got to be 25, so that's reserved to dad. But yeah, I know he's always there, always asking me, how I'm doing, and always watching. So
it's pretty cool, man. It's and as you know, as a parent myself, I can't imagine how proud that your parents feel to watch you two. I want to go to something I kind of just want to get it out of the way. So much has been made about your battle after you were diagnosed with cancer, and how that took you down, and how you were able to kind of come back from that. And with good reason, right? It's certainly notable and impressive the way that you were able to fight and come back. But I wonder, is that something you're trying to move past? Is that something you hold on to as motivation, or as something to bring gratitude? Did you feel like it was starting to define you? What's that thought process been like, and what kind of headspace have you been in as you acknowledge where you've been, the battles that you've had to fight, but also like trying to move forward and keep going?
I think it put a lot of perspective on life. Like every weekend I was going to the racetrack, like I was there for fun. But I wanted to win a lot prior. And now, anytime I go to the racetrack, win, lose, what doesn't matter. Like I'm there to have fun with my friends. And that's probably the biggest change it had, was just at the end of the day, like as long as you're able to go racing and can live a good life, that's all that really, really matters. And like, I'm not the biggest one to talk about it the most. My mom is more like that. But no, I definitely is with me in good ways. Took the positives out of it for sure.
Well, it's a good segue into a question I've had that year in Vegas, and when you couldn't go, you had to make the decision to immediately start your treatment program, start your recovery. Does that still nag at you? As you've moved past that kind of track champion. I mean, you're still winning them, but you've went to heights that many would say are far above winning that race. Is that still something you want to get back to, though? Is that still something you want to chase, in a box you want to check?
That'll always be one that kind of sits there, because like my grandpa's favorite race was ET Finals. I grew up watching, Steve Kelly win, going to Pomona, Matty Kielman going to Pomona. Like that's always been like my thing, was to win ROC and to go at least race for it. So yeah, that one's for sure still there, and I'll still be chasing that one for sure.
I hope you get there, man. I was down there in Vegas for that race, and remember passing around the big giant Cooper head that we all had, and you weren't able to be there, but you were there with all of us who were down there, and I can't wait till you get down there again, because I'm pretty positive that at some point, as long as you chase it, you'll get there for sure.
It's 100% happening again. I don't know why there's a question mark behind some of these questions, but I think that you'll be back to that race sooner than later. And especially if you keep driving the way you have been and showing up to those local races, it's not a matter of if, it's when. Kind of more on the serious side, we know that you've been going to college, and one of the questions that we've talked about is, are you going to start a career in racing? Is going to take like a back seat, or are you going to try and pursue racing for a living and going that direction?
I think I'm focused right now on school, and once I finish school in a year and a half, I'll kind of focus into a career more than anything. I think if you race for a living, especially on your own dime, like I don't think it'd be as fun, because if you're worried about winning to pay bills, and I think it turns into more of not a hobby that way. So yeah, I think this next year and a half I'm gonna race as much as I can, and we'll go from there.
What are you going to school for, if you don't mind us asking?
So I'm a business major, but it's focused in accounting.
Nice.
Accounting. You're gonna need that. All them big checks that you're cashing. You're gonna need to know how to balance those books, brother.
Yeah, I had to go through taxes with Nick Shepard 2 weeks ago. So.
That's funny.
That's not fun.
Well, Nick just finished his master's. He's a master of taxation, so he was probably able to school you up pretty good on that. Nick's another one that I'd like to get on the show at some point. So if you're out there, Nick, we want to get you on here one of these times.
All right, we need to know about an Uber story Ty Gaynor's alluding to.
Oh, you asked this last night. I was hanging out with Ty and JD last night, for reference. So when I was leaving Michigan, I went to Michigan for the 250 earlier this year. And Sunday night we had like rain, and we finished late Sunday. And I was flying to Edmonton Monday morning, and like the racetrack was like an hour away, and I was hoping we were getting done at like 8 o'clock and get an Uber to the airport. And then I had a hotel at the airport, and I was gonna fly out to Edmonton in the morning. And Casey had bought the flight. Like didn't have the flight. I was like, I have to get there to get this flight. Well, we end up racing until 10, 11 o'clock at night. No one will pick up at the racetrack. I sat at the front gate for like 40 minutes, nothing. And then I was like, I couldn't even get a ride to the casino that's nearby, because I was like, I'll get a taxi there. So then luckily Chris got out of bed, borrowed a car, got me to the casino. And then from the casino, I like called like 5 taxi places. Finally got someone, like the last guy left. He drove me 45 minutes from the casino to the hotel. I think I got to the hotel at 1, showered, got back up at 5, got on a plane to go to Edmonton. And like I had this realization of like, before Chris got back up or whatever, I like called my mom freaking out. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't get a ride, because I didn't buy the plane ticket. Like I gotta get to the airport. but yeah, luckily we made it.
Getting Ubers from a racetrack, both times that I've went to Vegas, I've either stayed with a friend or I've stayed at that like Super 8 or Motel 6, whatever it is, right by the track, and Ubered to and from to the airport. And it's a pain, man. They don't want to come. They don't want to come out. They don't want to get you. It's not a place where they can pick up other fares, and it's rough, man. I sat out at the front gate at Vegas during the ET Finals race a couple years ago for probably over an hour, just waiting for someone to pick me up. But like they have no motivation to drive out there. They can sit downtown and stack rides all day, and I'm 40 minutes away out at the track. Thank God they deliver pizza, because had there not been pizza delivery this last April at the Fling, I'm pretty sure I would have been buried under the bleachers. I've never been so hungry as I was at the Spring Fling Million this past year. My God.
Hey, I fed you.
I know, man. It was like
we did too.
I know, like I needed that. Had it not been for you guys, and Parker just made me like some regular old sandwich, but it was like the tastiest thing that I've ever eaten. I could feel the nutrients like going in my blood. If you've never been to the Spring Fling Million, they shut down all the concession stands. There is no food. So unless you got a toter, there's nothing. There is nothing. So you got to know somebody with something in their cooler. And thank goodness I was rolling with a strong crew. Kept me alive down there. It's rough.
All right, we got another question from the chat. And this has come up.
Yeah, let's skip that.
Skip that one. We're not going to go there.
Not going to go there.
Okay, how about this one?
I'm asking you that question the first time I see you at a racetrack, though, Coop. I'm going to need to know.
My favorite toe clearance is white, and you can thank Casey Pleasure for that.
Does he like his toes painted white too?
He does, yeah.
Nice.
I heard he has a thing for toes. It's a word on the street, Casey. I don't know, man. Your secrets aren't very safe with your friends, brother.
Well, we got some questions from Mr. Casey Pleasure himself.
Bring him.
Casey wants to know who is a better driver, Casey or you, and why?
Me.
It's pretty obvious.
I don't know why.
Like 450 grand. Or
I just say Josh Pickett didn't have to lay over.
He can't do both. He can only Lucas race. He can't bracket race. He's not multi.
Well, Josh Pickett didn't have to lay over in the final.
That's true too. We didn't hear that here.
Yeah.
What is the greatest impact that Casey has had on your life? Is also another question he wants to know.
What does he want me to? How do I want to answer this? A good way or not a good way?
Whatever way you think he wants you to answer, you should do it the opposite way.
The opposite? Let's say not girls. That title goes to Celeste.
Celeste is the only thing keeping Casey together at this point, huh?
Yes.
She's a saint.
I got to get some of my get back from last week or from 2 weeks ago at the banquet.
Oh yeah. Troy, what you got?
Well, let's go back to April. Right now, that's the thing. When people think Cooper Chun, I think that's the thing that probably comes first to mind. The most recent winner, the 10th anniversary Spring Fling Million. I felt so fortunate to be able to be there to watch you. Me and a couple of buddies had a big plan to get 3 rigs down there and race. When all that fell through, I wasn't going to go, and Steve kind of poked and prodded and said, "Come hang out." My wife hooked me up with a plane ticket for my birthday to come hang out. And outside of the lack of food, one of the best decisions I ever made. What a special moment. You come off the runner up on the 30 grander the year before. I know that probably, if you didn't think already that you could get it done, going that deep in that race, which has more cars, I think at least probably 2 or 3 more rounds than the million itself. You had to know that you had a chance. You come back in 2025. Work us through that day just a little bit, man. It was so impressive. It's impressive to win on a Saturday when you got to go 5 or 6 rounds and keep the focus for 6 or 7 hours. That was like 16, 17 hours of grinding. And I've never seen somebody keep it so cool as what I saw you. Talk a little bit about how you worked your way through that day and kept yourself ready for that final round against Josh Pickett, who is no slouch.
No. So I guess we'll start on the weekend. So you can only single during the week at the Fling now. At least you can double, but you can double in 2 ways. So I doubled with Steve and his Camaro. Didn't have a lot of success in that, but still fun to do wheelies. And JD came down to drive the other side of my car, and I was going to single the million. I wasn't going to double, but he got down to 6 in the first 30 grander, and I got like 1,500 or something from him for 50%. I kind of rolled that into the million. So if JD gets to say that if he doesn't win, then I don't enter the million, or twice, so he can have that claim to fame. So I guess it starts there. I had 3 people back home by my second one, I think. So Jeremy McGee, JD's dad, and Tabers, who do our motors, they bought second entry. And then, I will finish second in the run for the money deal. Start the day off was 4 total, so that helped a lot. I'd gotten 1 entry fee back, at least gotten the 500 back for people that bought me in. And then I was just letting go like I hadn't let go before and making smart decisions the rest of the day. I don't know, the first split I was in was the 30 grand of the year before, and I think we had like a $6,000 round difference. And I was like, whoa, this is different. This isn't Lucas. This isn't like anything else. I'd never been in anything like that before. So I guess it just comes with experience and the 20 grander I won in St. Louis in 24-2, that was no split at all. It was nice. 18. It was 20 grand to win, 3 grand to runner up.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. Listen for the flyer. I like it.
So I definitely.
Was that your call?
No, I was ready to split it. I was ready to split it like 16 to 10. And the same guy called no split the whole entire race.
That's fun.
But yeah, I guess the biggest thing was just the experience of having to be in some kind of situations like that. And then you make it to the split, and they're like, "Yeah, you're getting 10 grand to lose here," and it's like, "Sweet, I've covered. I'm up money. So whatever happens from now on, it doesn't really matter." Like at that point, you're trying to win for the success and the glory of winning $1 million rather than the money at that point.
Well, I guess it would have been when you dropped your first entry. Maybe it was on a different day. I don't remember. That whole week's kind of a blur. And Park, I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but Coop makes a run, and I think you're 3 red. You come back around, and we're all standing in the pit, and you pull it up, and he looks at his ticket. Most people are rolling 10, probably rolling 10 in the next time. And I remember either Tracy or David asked, "What are you going to do?" Maybe I asked him. He goes, "Well, it's 3 red. if I put 3 in, I ought to be perfect next time. And I don't know what you actually rolled in, but like in that moment, I think that was on Million Day, because in that moment, like that's when it hit me. I'm like, this dude's on a mission.
That was at 5 cars, and 5 cars I made a single. And my Uncle Jim told me, he's like, don't count singles. Well, I was 3 red on the single. And I'm like, I have to add, but I'm not like I usually throw singles out, but I'm like, I can't throw this one out completely. So I'm like, I'm just gonna cover it. I'm not adding anything more. And I came back around, I was 7 in the semis.
Like that's stones. Like that is, you're 3 red at 5. I'm gonna roll 3 in and go up there and be perfect the next time. Like for me, that was the moment where I was like, this dude's gonna do it. Like he's gonna, because nobody else does that. Everyone else is putting 8, 10, 12 in that thing and then going up and crushing it, covering 3 to be perfect, man. Like it was one of the sickest moments. Just as sick as anything I saw on the racetrack, because the way you were focused, cool as a cucumber, it was something to watch, man.
Thank you.
Well, as good as he was hitting the tree that day, he knew he was going to crush it either way. So he was confident that 3 red wasn't going to be 3 red again. So that's awesome.
It was wild, man. And then, so here we are, 2 a.m.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've had the pleasure to see Josh Pickett race multiple times. He can wheel that S10 as good as anybody in the country. And he was on a mission of his own that day. You had to sit. I mean, I think he's probably dialed. What was he dialed? You probably know. 540s, 6s.
16 or 610, 608, something like that.
So you got to sit for a minute, right? Because you at that point were about dialed high 490s.
Yeah. So when I made the single, me and Steve decided that I needed to make the single at 5 in case there was a door cart left. I was fairly confident on what it could go against a dragster, but I didn't have a full run in a few runs, and so I made the single at 5 in case I got the door car. And I think it moved 2 thou from that single to the final, and I was dialed honest for the final and I lifted, which was dumb, but I had the game plan in the final was to let go and make a time run. Do it because I don't drive door cars particularly well either.
Well, and you got to sit there for what it had to felt like an eternity for what was on the line, watching him put that thing on the bumper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that thing pulls sick wheelies.
Yes, it does.
And so you're looking over and you see that thing packing them out there. It lets go. It stays green. Didn't change the plan. Just kept it to the mat until the very end. And then what made you switch it up at the end? Were you just so far ahead, or?
It's just weird. Like most time when I drive a door car, I make decisions late. That's why I dial honest, or if I'm holding, it's holding very little because I don't see it till it's too late to really do anything. On that run, like I just lifted before, like I was going around him and noticed it way early, and I kicked it before I like had even thought about it, and I was like, if this one, the better come on, because I know I didn't just mess this up. And it came on, I was like, start going crazy, and like when I took the corner, I got out and kind of took my pants off and kind of took it to myself for a minute, and I'm just like, you could have really messed that up.
Man, give it to think about the difference of because I've never seen people more proud than your parents were and the rest of us on the starting line when you did that. To think about the difference between how we felt in that moment versus how we'd have felt if you'd have gave it back 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd have been a rough night.
And like I went through and I was like, I don't think you were in front by that much. Like, why'd you lift? Like, it wasn't like it was obvious. And I think it was in front 8 thou, and I killed, I think 6 or 7 like thou. Like, it wasn't a ton. Like, yeah.
So what were you above?
I think it was 13 thou above.
Okay, so you were definitely going to go dead on then.
Yes, if I leg it, I'm dead on. There's no reason to lift.
Well, the cards fell in the right direction for you, and we're so excited about it. Let's relive some of these pictures here. You got your family, you got the whole gang there, huh?
They all stayed up. Which, funny enough, none of them were on the starting line. Says it was cold. It was cold that night. So Riley, Ty, Luke, Ryan, and Dalen are there. They were on the starting line. But JD, like they were all in the motorhome. because at like round 6 they went to the motorhome because it was cold, and then I won a round, so they stayed in there. And like I get to the split, I'm like, I haven't split the million, and none of my buddies are around. Like, where'd they go? And JD walks by after the split round. He's like, we're watching. We're just in the motorhome. I'm like, okay, like at least you're here. But I have a video that Elaine took of them coming out of the motorhome when I won, and it's like a minute long of them driving to the staging lanes, and yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Dude, it was sick, and it was cold. It was freezing cold. But like everybody who's standing behind you there, we all felt like we won the million too. It was the coolest thing, man. And late, boy, it was late. I think I finally. So they do all the interviews, the pictures, a million pictures. They make them take all these pictures, and they set up the banners, then move the banners, take some more, and then we go to the pit, and we're talking, and the limo dude's sitting there for. You guys made that guy wait forever. Forever. He's just standing there, and it's freezing, but everybody's hugging and hanging out and laughing, and so they go, and like I was staying with a buddy who lives on the other side of Vegas, like an hour from the track, and I'm like, I got to get home, and there's no way I'm getting an Uber at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So David and Wayne were cool enough to let me hop in the car, but they had to go to that casino that you were going to, right? So I get to the casino, I'm starving. By this, I mean I had 8 hours ago, whatever. By this time, it's like time for another meal. There's a Denny's across the street from that casino. So I walk over there, eat some food, finally get an Uber. I got back to my buddy's house in Vegas, and it was light out. But he lives in a gated community, so I had to like break and enter into the place. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get arrested. I had like some shopping bag with like a shirt in it, or I mean, nobody would have believed me if I'd have got caught. And so I had to huck over this like 12-foot fence. I had these pokey iron things on the top, ripped my shirt. So here I am walking through this subdivision because he's at the back of the subdivision.
With a ripped shirt and everything.
It's daybreak with a ripped up shirt and a shopping bag with a fling hat in it, but it was, man, what a night, man. What a night.
After $1 million race win, what is the go-to meal in the hotel, and why is it not vodka cran?
I believe we ordered room service, and it was like pizza, and then we got a bunch of Red Bull vodkas, and the pizza was terrible. And I believe JD started a food fight at one point, and then that's about when I went to bed. I was so tired. So like JD starts a food fight, they run around for a little bit, and I was like, I'm going to bed. And they're like, you're not gonna stay up partying? At this point, it's 5 a.m. Tyus were on pro bracket the next day, and I think they went back out or something. Me and Ty slept for like 2.5 hours, and then 7:30 came real early.
Oof.
I had big plans to go to the track the next day. I did not make an appearance. It was like, I ain't going out to that place for another minute. What was the crash like? So anybody who's like a hunter, right? You go out and you stalk your deer, and you have this crazy adrenaline rush, and if you get one, it ramps up again even higher, and then you just nosedive. Did you hit that? I mean, was it just from being tired, or like when it all finally wore off, you were just toast, right?
The adrenaline was pretty good. Like it lasted the whole limo ride, the whole, get the room, look at the room, order whatever we ordered, and then I'd crashed. And they're like, "You're not gonna go to a party?" I was like, "I don't think I can make it down there without falling asleep."
Yeah. Yeah, man. So spent. And
in hindsight, I would have not raced the next day, but in the moment, all I wanted to do was race the next day.
I bet, man. I bet.
You
mentioned something. You were able to see it earlier than what you normally are able to see him, or what you expected to, and that tells me that it's becoming a little more automatic from you, right? The looks that you're starting to see, you're able to process them now quicker than ever, make decisions quicker than ever in the moment. And so I want to go there just a little bit. I mentioned in my Facebook post today, it wasn't that long ago that you were, a young kid with promise. And within just a few short years, you have proven yourself to be one of the best in the world. What do you credit? Like, were you just born with something? How does that happen? Because it's pretty amazing, man.
I think seat time is a huge thing, and I think I've had the privilege to make a ton of laps down the racetrack and tons of different cars and my parents' equipment and so on and so forth. And I think that has a lot to do with it. I think my parents, whether it's letting me go drive or always, I may not be the fastest or not, but we always able to go racing whenever I want to. And I raced at Portland when I turned 8. Once I started racing, I raced Portland on Wednesdays and I went to Woodburn on Saturday and Sunday. At every opportunity from 8 to 15 into junior at least. And my first 2 years, I red lit 90% of the time I went down the racetrack. Like, Dad knew when we left the house, I was going to red light round 1. And we still went over and over and over.
That gives me hope. Because that's what I do.
This is that bottom bulb.
I think a lot of it is seat time.
Yeah, man. Well, and you traveled to get your seat time this last year. I was talking to your mom, 35,000 miles of travel in 2025 to race.
A lot was on an airplane, but yes.
Unreal.
Still a lot.
Well, and you talk about seat time. I think about guys like you and Maddie and Hayden. You guys race more in one season than I've still raced in all of my seasons combined. And it's just crazy, man. I don't think I like it that much. Like, even if I could go that much, I don't know if I like it enough to go that much. What keeps you coming back? Is it just that's what you do now, or do you still just love it just as much every time?
I just love it as much as anyone can, I think. I mean, usually like my window is like 3 to 4 weeks I can be on the road, and then I got to go home for like a week. And then once I'm home for a week, ready to go back on. Now, like if we were racing home and I'm able to go home throughout the week, I could probably go forever. But at some point, you on the road, you get stuck and you want to go have some sort of home.
Yeah, man. Love it. Well, we always knew, like I'm saying, like everyone knew you'd do big things someday. I don't know that anybody realized how soon that day would come. Nobody wants to see 6'4", 6'5" in the other lane, man. Unless Parker was in it. They didn't mind seeing that orange scoop when Parker was in it.
No,
so they don't want to see it anymore.
I was a duck. That's why he has so much success. They all thought it was me the first couple of years. He's just wearing them out because they expected the duck.
I talk a lot of shit for a guy who's never been in a final round.
You're going to get there.
What do you got, Parker?
I was just getting to Cooper being crew chief of the year. And I'm not talking just Casey. He's working on stalkers. He's working on super comp top dragsters. He's got it all. Nitrous. You say you're not a mechanical guy, but these pictures show otherwise. Look at that ice.
If you tell me what you need to be done, like put ice on intake, I can do that. Now, if we're pulling valve covers or doing anything else, I'm not your guy.
Well, I think you got the hold of this top dragster thing. Is it true that you dialed Casey the remainder of the 2025 season?
I dialed him from top dragster from Boise to everywhere. Boise throughout.
So let's be real. Casey wouldn't be a top dragster world champion without Coop.
I mean, I'm gonna say no. I don't know what he'll say, but
he'd probably say the same, man. I know he has a lot of love and respect for what you're able to do to him. And Parker and I saw that. We admired it so much. We started doing AI renderings of our cars. We want to be part of Steinke and Chun. Like, we want to be on the team. I got graphics ready to go. So you let me know when the team is going to get bigger, when you're ready to add some cars. Park and I, we're ready, baby. You could dial me.
That 2 months with him and Aaron and Celeste and all of them was probably one of the best 2 months of my life. I mean, I didn't do much of anything, racing wise myself, but just all the fun we had and being able to help him ultimately achieve a world championship is something I'll never forget.
It's pretty awesome, man.
It's I don't want to call it a once in a lifetime opportunity because I have strong feelings that you'll be doing it yourself. But do you think that chasing it with Casey has given you some insight on how to do it in your own car and do it for yourself?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I realized you got to go. We sat around, and when we went to Seattle, it was like, hey, if you have a good Seattle divisional, like, we've got to chase. And I finished third in 23, and I skipped Dallas. I didn't go to Dallas. I kind of regretted it, but not all the way. And we go down to the final race in Pomona. If he doesn't go to Dallas, he doesn't qualify to get there. Like, we only got 30 points in Dallas, but it was the 30 points he needed. So I mean that enlightened me that, like, if you have a shot, you go. But yeah, and comes down Pomona on a weird Thursday. They went from not getting a time run, being laddered off points, to getting a time run, and it's just crazy.
Are you having aspirations of chasing a national championship this year?
Yes, that is the thought process, at least in going to D7 to start. Is I'm going to chase Super Comp in D7 and TD in 6.
I love it,
and we'll see how the first through Boise in May and kind of go from there.
Sweet.
You mentioned Top Dragster in D6. You were able to get a win in your own car in Top Dragster this year. That was pretty fun to watch. Certainly not if you were to line up all the cars and someone were to ask to pick which one's going to win Top Dragster. I don't think they would have picked your hot rod.
No, we were last qualifier.
Yeah,
and we put the 7-point belts in like the Wednesday before. I remember we went to the shop and I ordered them. We went to Montana and I went to Edmonton with Casey, and Casey's like, just run Top Dragster in Woodburn. I was like, I don't have my license. Like, I don't have 7 points. I don't have a 15 suit. He's like, I think we're in Montana. He's like, you're going to do it or not? Because you're going to do it, you need to order everything now. So I was like, okay. So I ordered it. And we didn't get the 7 points in my car. And I don't have, my car's not fast enough for a 750 license. So I could have got my Top Dragster license, but I wouldn't have gotten my advanced. So luckily he let me make 3 rounds in his on Wednesday. I get my actual license. And then actually my first ever Top Dragster race, I ended up winning. I should have never ran Top Dragster again. Just quit one for one.
Yeah, buddy, retire on top. It was funny too, like in the staging lanes, because I mean, especially like the blower cars, like with the big wings, like Top Dragsters are big. Yeah. And your car looked like a Hot Wheel parked next to some of those things.
I was running Super Comp and TD, and me, Casey, and Ty all rode up dead last for TD. And we're looking, and we're trying to count back because like there's 2 full lanes, and we're like, is there gonna be 50 cars? Like, are me and Ty not gonna qualify? Like, and we're like, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait, there's golf carts, there's wheelie bars, they're all 270 inches. Like, just I think they're ended up being like 43 or something. Yeah, it's still a lot, but like it wasn't as close as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, those cars are huge, man. And that was a neat divisional. It was a pretty impressive Top Sportsman and Top Dragster field at that divisional in particular. And it was fun to watch, man. It was cool to see you park what were you dialed? 780?
64, I think.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Funny story, a little dig on Ty since he had a dig on me earlier here. Me and Casey are both 1 for 1 in Top Dragster divisional, like our first one we've entered, and I believe he runnered up. So he's almost there.
Got work to do, Ty.
Come on, Ty. You can't just win your first Top Dragster national event or something.
Divisional. I don't have a national because that's what he's about to make a comment about me not having a national.
There's like 18 comments. Is Cooper gonna win his first national? Here's one of them.
Dalton Olson coming in
this
hot.
is a topic. Who is one person that he can't beat, and why is it Luke in a junior dragster?
I believe me and Luke ran once in juniors, and I believe I was 100 and something on the tree, and I think he was 80 on the tree, and I did not win. And I'm like, this is like, I left school early. It was a Friday night at Pacific. I got out of school, like Dad picked me up with the junior hanging out the back of the truck. He's like, we're gonna go to Pacific for like this night race and drive home. I remember this would have been 2015 or 2016 because I had Ashley's car because my car was broke. I remember I got Luke and I was like, my dad's like, this is a far kid, like he's gonna be good. And I'm like, yeah, I know who Luke was. I was like, that's fine. I remember late, got back, we were both not great, loaded up and drove all the way home. And I didn't run Luke ever again in a junior.
These guys are taking every opportunity they got to take a shot at you here because there's no other place they can take shot. They can't take them on the track. So they're getting these licks in right here.
They got to dig way back in the archives.
I know.
We got to bring up old stuff.
JD won't bring up anything because I don't think he's beat me in a junior.
How about a big car?
I think we're 5-1.
Close enough.
Oh man,
I don't know if I should post this or not, but what is your favorite maple syrup brand?
See, I'm glad I made that comment now.
How about your? This one comes from Casey. It's not controversial. Top 3 race cars you've driven in your career. Best or favorite, whichever way you want to go with it.
Oh, I hate to do this. Jenny is number 1, which is his dragster.
Jenny?
He knew that. He knew that. He just wanted to hear you say
that's
it.
Why yes.
Like Forrest Gump, Jenny?
Yes.
Okay.
And then my car would be second, and third is probably Dylan Guy's Diamond Dragster. It's probably third. It's really smooth. It's really smooth. I don't know if I can't put it over mine or Casey's.
Hold on. Chris Sullivan's calling me. I think he wants me to drive his car. He wants me to drive his cars now.
So you're a big dragster guy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Big dragster guy.
So you're gonna let me drive the Mustang at Troy's race in Woodland?
If it's together. It's not together currently.
Well, we know you can't mechanic, so who do I need to talk to about finishing it?
Barry. Barry needs to finish the roll bar in it. This is
All right, Barry.
Putting Shays Green on blast. Come on, Barry. Don't let Parker down. What about Ty probably be in that thing? Maybe he'd drive his dragster now. Who knows? I'm sure Ty will be driving something. You let him drive that thing a little bit.
Yep.
And that's your Portland car, right? That's your
Yeah. When it's together.
When it's together.
Although I wasn't home last year, so it wouldn't have really mattered anyways. Because we took it apart last spring and it was like, we're gonna do this on the cheaper side, like you're just gonna get a roll bar, no front end stuff or anything, because we got a 406 for it. And then I'd won the million, and then it was like, okay, we're gonna do suspension stuff, we're gonna do this and that, and then it's just, as all project cars go, there's nothing that happens quick.
Always, especially when you have a running one.
Yeah.
I've been dreading taking mine apart. I've still got, I could go race it tomorrow. It's still on jack stands. I haven't touched anything. It'd fire up and race tomorrow. I'm dreading taking it apart because I haven't touched it really since I put it together. And there were some things that I didn't quite get how I wanted them. You know, I got them good enough to get to the track that weekend. And then I didn't want to take it apart because I wanted to keep racing. And I know that I've raced it enough now. And there's certain things that I'm tired of enough that I know that the minute I take it apart this time, I'm going to take it way apart. And I don't know how long it'll take me to get it back together. So it's there she sits. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of them things. It snowballs pretty quick once you get going down the road. And there's so many nice, shiny parts out there.
Or while I have it apart, we'll do this too.
We got to know the story behind this. Cooper is the only person to runner up a race and get more money than the winner. Do you know what this is about?
Yeah. What Lane? What event was this at?
He'll show up in the comments.
Yeah. Oh, was it? I was when I ran him in a final, I think, and we did like a 15% or 10% kickback. And we did a 10% or 15% kickback, and with the runner-up money and the kickback included, I had like more money than he did.
Oh, that's classic.
We didn't.
Man.
I don't think we realized like because they add like bonuses on top, like cash bonuses, and we didn't factor that in when we made the deal. And I think like the cash bonus was like $600 to $200 or something, and like I ended up with more money by a little bit after the fact.
That's funny.
See, Coop knows how to will and deal. He's the accountant.
Yeah, man. You've answered this question before, and I think you picked .90 racing when someone asked you what you like better, class racing or bracket racing. Now that you've had the kind of success you've had on the bigger stages in big money bracket racing, what do you like to do best, man? You still like the .90 stuff, or do you see yourself shifting more towards chasing the big checks? I know you're going to chase a championship this year, but
.90 stuff for me, like until I won a national, I don't feel like I've done enough. Like, but is that necessarily like more fun? I don't know. That's a tough question because I like both of them because they both have a different pace of speed. Like bracket racing, you're making a ton of runs, and .90 stuff, like there's more thought that goes into it. You have more time to hang out with friends. Like there's pluses and minuses to both. The reason why I like them probably evenly.
So one thing I wonder about with people who have cars that are on the slower end, right? You're still running .90, but you're on the stop less, right? You're off the stop quicker usually than your competitor. So it turns it almost into a bracket race for you, driving as the slow car, which is something you're very comfortable with over the years. Often been the slower car. Do you hesitate to maybe get something faster? Do you feel that look? Does it feel like a bracket race to you because you're off the stop and gone and then backing into everybody all the time?
Yeah, I mean, because they're essentially the same thing, but the biggest difference is like in bracket racing, like you can have a good idea of how much someone's holding, and if you pay attention enough, there's none of that in .90. Like your guy could be going 880. You have no way of knowing.
Yeah,
and that I don't know. That's probably what my answer to that. Like you have no basis on what someone's doing besides their typical what they do, but that doesn't mean they're doing it. There's no math behind that.
Yeah.
That is one of the things I love about superclass racing, where nobody knows how much you're holding. You can hide it all in your timer number, really. Yeah. It's not going to show up on the dial-in board. And just figuring out the throttle stop settings is another challenge in itself. Mm-hmm. I think it's fairly easy anymore with as good as the parts are that you can buy to make a good bracket car. But to make a good super comp car and be a good super comp driver is another thing. And I think you've got that pretty well nailed down as well.
Well, I got a good super comp car to start with, so.
I don't know about that. You make it look way better than I ever did.
How do you, especially in the super class racing, Coop, like as someone who's not, super into the mechanical side of things, who's responsible for that for you? How do you keep that thing dialed in and running the number as someone who doesn't like to turn the screws and stuff?
Super comp, at least from what my setup is, like the converters are loose. Like it's not, you really got to know weather for the most part. Like it's not like a super street car or a super gas car that they'll move 800, they don't work to 60. Like super comp, I don't know how Parker has with this, but super comp's way easier to set up, and it's essentially a bracket race with a little bit more variable because 8th mile and wind. But in terms of dialing wise or setting up, it's not. Once you have a good setup, it's not. You don't change it everywhere you go per se. At least for my car.
And Parker, you were talking about him turning the wrenches. I've seen converter swaps, talking about Coop being a crew chief. I've seen mad dashes to swap out a converter. I think one time there was a flex plate maybe with something busted. Everybody, all hands on deck. Cooper got clean hands, baby. Standing there like a real crew chief. I got a really good picture of his dad shoved up in there, arms deep in there, JD's arms deep in there, everybody covered in grease to the elbows. Coop looking like he just got out of the shower.
Hey, when you know what you're supposed to do, like Cooper, you keep your hands clean.
If I try and help there, it's gonna be longer. I'm gonna get yelled at for trying to help. I just back up.
Are you a good tool finder though?
I'm okay.
That's always my job.
Whatever you do. If Casey ever needs like screws to like screw in, you're screwing in the vent on the trailer, don't ask me. I'll grab the wrong tool. Or sorry. In his ways, I grabbed what would work, but I didn't grab the correct one.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the one that had the magnet on the end, and I didn't grab that one.
We were talking to Kathy and Cal last week, and she was telling us how the trailer was far enough away last time they were on a mad thrash. She had time to Google what the tools looked like, so she knew which the right one to grab.
I
don't think Coop is quite that level, unless he confesses otherwise.
No. I'm not to that level, but you got to be specific on what you ask for, because he didn't. Okay, Wayne, how old was I in that though? That was not recent.
I've also got.
I would have stared at you for that too, for having a 12-point.
Well, we know what it is now, huh?
Yeah.
He said a couple.
That was not a couple months.
Last weekend. Coop, so you're gonna chase a natty. Does that mean you're going to deprioritize big money stuff? I mean, I know you've got the Tucson race, Spring Fling Million on the calendar. Everything after that, just kind of figuring it out, or you got anything else that's on your calendar for sure this year?
I've kind of planned out through through August. So I'm gonna go to Boise in May around the summer showdown and kind of run all the NHRA stuff kind of comes to us in that sense. I'll go back up to Edmonton over July for their 25 granders. And then kind of see like this Tucson Vegas, those 2 weeks in Vegas, you could be out $6,000 if it doesn't go well. So I kind of got to see how that goes. If I'm going to be planning anything to go back east, whether it's flying in or whatnot, I kind of got to see how that goes before I make my mind on up on what I'm doing.
Are you going to go up to the Sports Nationals in Mission this year?
Yep. Yeah. Excited about that one. That's probably top 3. Very excited for this year.
I'm pretty stoked for that too. I got the call from Mike Eames a couple weeks ago asking me to come up and be on the mic. So gonna be fun. I haven't been to Mission since before you had to you didn't have to have a passport back in the day, Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to get across the border, and going to be a lot of fun, man. Looking forward to that event for sure.
What goes into crossing the border nowadays? Do you have to? I know, like my friends from Mexico, they have their trailers searched and all sorts of stuff. So, is it quite as detailed?
The few times I've gone back and forth this year, it hasn't been too bad. Like coming into Montana when we went to Yellowstone with Casey, like I had to go in the trailer. I turned my check around, so like if they did open the trailer, they didn't see it. But they grilled us pretty good. When we went to Dallas, they made us open the trailer. The agent walked through the trailer. Then he came in the motorhome, walked through, checked the fridge. We've never had deep search. Like I've never been deep search like that before. But yeah, it's just weird. Like if you get a good agent, get a bad agent, it just kind of depends. If they have nothing going on and it's not busy, you're probably opening it up and looking.
Sounds like that agent was just hungry if he was looking in the fridge.
I've been told that the best thing you can tell them is you're just going to watch. You ain't going to work. You ain't going to race. You ain't going to spectate.
You don't tell them you're going to work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They've grilled me pretty hard. Like when I go to Speedway next week, it's gonna be like, "Are you here for work?" No, just visiting. And they're like, "Well, you visited already before." Like they grilled me pretty. Last time or 2 times ago, they're like, "Well, what'd you do, or what are you going to school for?" When I told them I was going to school, and I'm like, that has no basis on, like, why are you asking me what I'm in school for? Like it wasn't in like a, oh, they want to know kind of way. It was like it was a serious question.
Well, they got to see if you're keeping it up, right? Because it's like you could say that and get through the next time, but then they got to see how well developed your story is, man. And if you would have stumbled there and been like, well, you know, they would have known. They would have known.
We gotta ask this question. Maybe you can answer this one. What is the Sorensen method for when you're nervous?
This is about my mother. I'm not going to answer that. That'd be a banquet. So what would you normally say at the start of a banquet to make you not nervous?
Just picture everybody naked.
And include my mother in that. That would be what Sorensen and Casey did last week at the banquet to start to speak.
Oh, man.
Main's got good questions. Main's got good questions.
Who needs enemies when you got buddies like that?
Is there any questions you want to ask us? Maybe to get back at your buddies.
No, I think I'll let it slide this time. No reason.
Look at him, high road, baby. Nothing but class from Cooper Chun.
Cooper is way more classy than I'll ever be.
That's why he's D6's most eligible bachelor.
Yep, that's it. That's why. I probably heard that 5 times after Casey made his speech. It was in Tori's speech. It was in someone else's.
Oh, man. Well, it's clear that you're part of the family, across the racing world out here. Everybody knows who you are on the other side of the Rocky Mountains, too. You've hinted a little bit about some of the people that have been important to your journey, but who do you want to shout out while you've got this platform for what they've done and what they mean to you as you've been on this journey?
I think it starts with my family, all my buddies. Trying to mention them all: Dalton, JD, Ty. Oh God, this is why I shouldn't have started this.
So leave somebody out.
If you leave someone out, you're going to be on the.
You already lost one of your dragster rides this year, man. Don't screw this up.
Dell and Eric Bowman. Oh no, we're mad at him right now. That was a personal leave out. Now Parker ruined it.
My
He's
bad.
been dodging us. Eric Bowman, Dylan Guy from back east. Everyone. I don't know. I'm meeting a lot of cool people this year. Pleasures for sure. Sullivan, I go back and race for him, and I don't know. I'm going to Pleasures in 2 weeks for a week, so that'll be fun.
That will be fun. One guy who doesn't forget who to thank every single pass you make is your dad.
My dad, yeah.
And I love. It's become one of the things I love about his live streams as you go up there. If you have any question about what kind of brakes, tires,
I know, it's all of it.
Valve stem caps. You want to know anything about Cooper Chun's car? Just watch one of David's live feeds, and he will get every single manufacturer every single time. And I used to laugh at it, and now it's something I've grown to love, man. Hoosier Racing Tires, Lamb Brakes, Tabor Automotive 598. I used to kind of have the whole thing, man, and I love it. And I love that he appreciates the brands and the people that support you that much. It's fun to watch.
I have a pretty good support system behind me, whether it's people or companies, for sure.
All right,
Parker, what else you got, man?
I got one final question for you, Coop, before we wrap this thing up. What are you looking for in a girlfriend, and how can girls get a hold of you? This is a Casey question. If you were
I
wondering.
know. I knew this was a Casey question. Well, they got to be able to go to the racetrack.
That's
for
a good
sure.
one. Let's name 3.
3.
3. That's one.
3 qualities.
3 qualities. Put me on the spot.
Perfect girl. The perfect girl. She goes to the racetrack. Is she a racer also?
Yeah, because that's the only way they'll probably really understand it, unless you get really lucky.
I got pretty lucky.
That's 2. Oh, I do not like these questions. I hate these questions.
Old Chad Simonton said she got to have a booty.
Sure, we'll go with that one.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta love going to the races. You gotta be a racer, and you gotta be packing heat. I think those are pretty good qualities myself. I mean, I think that's a pretty good picture that you're painting, Coop. Man, just really appreciate again you taking some time. Anybody who's watching, of course, we've all been watching you, and it's been a pleasure, man, and it's been cool to see. Like I said, you go from somebody who everybody knew had promise to literally being one of the best in the world, and you've done it with class, and you've done it with grace every single step of the way, and I think that's something that just elevates your standing even more. There's a lot of people that are really good, but they're assholes, and you're not one of those guys. And it's something I think that the larger community appreciates. It makes you approachable, and it makes you somebody that we can all aspire to be like, man. And you know, a young fella like yourself, there's a whole lot of us out here that all we want to do is be like Coop. And I appreciate you, and congratulations on all you've accomplished, not only this year, but along the way in your career.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed coming on tonight, and look forward to racing with all you guys this year.
Dude, all the boys owe you, like everybody owes you something.
I see when they're on these shows. I hope that they'll do the same. But I'll be in the chat, and I'll make it hell for them with no repercussions.
Only guy that wins is Casey, and that was because of you. So I don't know if we'll have any of them on.
I want to add a 4th white toe.
A 4th quality.
For Casey.
And white toes.
Toenails.
Toes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Race car driver who loves to go to the races, big old booty, and white toenails.
Oh, and number 5, Giovanni said likes maple syrup.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. How do they get at you? Follow him on Facebook, Instagram. Slide into his messenger.
There you go.
Slide in there. I haven't seen Coop post especially for your generation. It's funny. Like you'd take a long time to scroll through Facebook before you found a post on his page that was actually from him.
I don't post very often.
No, it just gets tagged. Like, it's a pretty active Facebook page, but it's just everybody else tagging him so they can be associated with the greatness of Cooper Chun. Super Cooper Chun, thank you so much, brother. I can't wait to see you this year. I wish you all the best of luck, and I know you're going to do some great things, and we'll all be watching. We'll all be cheering for you, man.
No problem, and I look forward to listening to you wherever we are, whether it's on YouTube or where it's at.
Yeah, brother.
And I'm sure I'll see Parker in a month.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you in Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Thanks again, Coop. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.